Mahatma Gandhi once asked the people around him, "Why do people yell when they are angry?" Well, people didn't really know what to say, and the first one guessed, well, maybe it's because we lose our calmness. And the second one goes, maybe it's because we want to be heard so desperately. Well, Gandhi wasn't really satisfied with all those answers. So after a while, he said, "You want to know why people yell when they are angry? They yell because their hearts are so far away from each other. Their hearts are so far away from each other, and they have to yell to make a point so that the other person can hear him." Well, I guess these days we can hear a lot of angry voices, right? Wherever we go, we can hear people talk in ways we want to be talked to. Whether it's in the bus or on the train or at our workplaces or wherever we go, we hear sounds that we don't really like. And especially these days in times of change and war, people sound angry. And I think mainly it's because they are scared. Whenever people get scared, they sound angry or grumpy or just scared. Emotions just translate directly into our voices. So, what can we do about that? How can we build bridges to the hearts? How can we cross those frontiers by just using our voices? And this is what I want to talk with you about. How can we use your voices in a mindful and careful way so that we can actually connect to each other? And that connection could last from one person to the other person, or maybe from one person to a bunch of people, or even between cultures and countries. What if we decided today to make the world a better sounding place? A couple of months ago, I traveled to the United States. And actually, I was a bit nervous about the immigration process because I'd heard that things had gotten pretty strict and I hadn't been there since 9/11. So I traveled with my daughter and I instructed her to be really decent and really calm and not to irritate anybody. So with a beating heart and my daughter behind me, I step up to the booth of the officer and handing him over my papers, our passports, and he looked at them and he went, "What brings you to the United States?" And I said, I'm attending a speakers conference. And he went, "Well, what do you do for a living?" I'm a trainer for speech and voice." And suddenly, that guy, he built himself up. He took a deep breath, he smiled at me and he said, "Well, Monika, how does that sound? Put your right hand on the scanner, please." Wow, I listened to that guy and I was amazed. Of course, I put my hand on the scanner and I smiled back at him and I said, "Wow, sir, you sound fantastic." And we entered the United States with a big smile on our faces. What had he done? He had chosen to create a moment. He had chosen to pick up my topic and to appreciate me being there as a human being, and he added some humor in it. And here we go. He created a moment. What if we did that now as people come to our country? What if we showed interest in their stories? What if we showed a little more respect and also a little humor when we say, "Welcome to Germany"? This is what a voice can do. And this we can apply on those meaningful situations, big situations, but also on tiny situations like an everyday routine, like, for example, having breakfast. Sometimes I do have breakfast. And usually with my daughter, who's 14. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. My daughter can be quite grumpy in the morning. So, as I'm not really a morning person as well, it can be really, really silent when we eat. But this one day, I decided to reach out to her and to tell her, well, honey, I do have a new customer today. I'm a bit nervous, so wish me luck. And she's sitting there, looking up to me, and she says, Mom, don't mess it up. Okay, charming, isn't it? I gave it a little thought, and I thought, I could be grumpy back at her. That would have been the easy choice, right? That's what we do. We get an energy, and we usually give it back the same way. But this morning, I decided to do something else. I decided to react in a way that she would have never expected in the morning. I said to her, well, how could I possibly mess it up? Well, maybe if I went, hello, good morning, how are you today? We're gonna talk about the voice today inside my office. Yeah, that would probably mess it up. You should have seen the look on her face. Actually, a bit like you here. A mix of surprise, amazement, and also shock. And actually, we played it out. We played it out until the bus stop when she left for school. So we played with our voices, and she left for school with a big smile on her face. And I left for work with the same big smile. So what did I do here? I chose to do something completely unexpected. So if you're ever stuck in the atmosphere, in a meeting, or wherever you are in a presentation, you don't have to go for the operatic style. But hey, you can change your voice, and you can create something new with it. And if people expect you to react in a certain way when they are grumpy and they are angry, just choose. Take the freedom to choose something else. And that altogether is making the choice between love and fear for a moment. So whenever we choose fear, the atmosphere can change, and we are separate from each other. We really build those barriers between each other if we're using our voices in that loud and angry way. But if we choose for love over fear, then our voices, they are completely different. And we then can create moments that will change situations. And this is why, basically, I'm a voice coach. Sometimes I'm being asked, like, what do you do for a living? And I get two reactions if I tell people, well, I'm a trainer for speech and voice. The one reaction is very quick. They go, oops, I'm not saying one more word. Okay, that's quick. So the next reaction that I sometimes get is something like, oh, I know what you're talking about. It's for actors, right? So they need to learn that for the stage. They need to know how to use their voices, and they need to know how to pronounce properly, and it has nothing to do with me. Interesting, but not for me. But I disagree. I think it's for all of us to have a view on the voice, to really listen to ourselves, to decide, do I want to leave this acoustical imprint on the world? Do I want to be heard like this right now? Or can I make a different decision? So whenever I'm asked what I'm doing for a job and I'm telling that, it's probably a better answer could be, I'm a trainer for sounds of the heart. And now, from that professional point of view, let's have a look on what does the voice sound like when we are scared. And we can actually see and hear and also experience some basic features that we can work on. And so you don't have to be an actor to actually decide those things. So let's do some exercises here. First of all, what you can really see and hear in people, especially when we are nervous or scared, is the breath management. What happens here is that we take in a lot of air, and we take more and more and more, and so we almost explode and we get so nervous and everything's going up here. So this is a problem. We should let it go. So please breathe out with me. Use the sound F and just breathe out with me and let go of the air and release all prejudice, release all judgment and limiting thought systems. So breathe out on F and go. Great. And by doing that, you can expand, you can really rise up with your body. So as we speak, we need to conquer some space to make a connection to the other people. So if you breathe out on S now, really rise up and expand with your bodies and go. Good, great. And grow, 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 grow. Like kings and queens, you conquer space. Fabulous. And then just let go to breathe in quite easily. So whenever you feel scared, just let go of the air and let go of limiting thoughts and let go of all the judgment that we have inside our heads. The second trick that I'm going to show you is concerning the sound of your voice here in the throat. Whenever we're scared, the throat tends to close up. It's constrictor muscles that are working here. So we can actually shake the tension off, shake it off to say it with Taylor Swift. So fold up your hands in front of your chest and act as if you were on an old shabby car and go exactly. And then next, you put your hand here on your chest and you go, Produce a joyful sound, And then we go, Kiel. And go, Kiel. And maybe even better, we go, Kiel, TEDxKielUniversity. And go, Kiel, TEDxKielUniversity. Great. You sound fantastic. So when you feel that fear is crawling up your throat, just shake it off and then go for joy, because that joyous sound will connect you with another person. And the third station is actually happening here in the mouth. When we are scared, we tend to mumble. So this is all really like stuck and we can't really talk. So the first thing that you can do, you drop your jaw, go. That looks stupid, I agree. Okay, and then turn your tongue, you rotate your tongue inside your mouth. Don't ever do that on a train. Other way around. And then do this. Hold it. It's like gymnastics. And the other way. You feel your tongue? Okay. And then stretch out the tongue. And put it up there. And down. I call it the waving exercise. If you can't use your hands, just wave with the tongue. Okay. And then we can stretch out the lips, go for a really big smile, and purse your lips. And kiss some people. And big smile, and purse. And perfect. Great. And that way, If you use that, you can articulate in a courageous way, and you can use your vowels and consonants really courageous. So, if you do these little simple tricks, and if you get aware of how you're sounding, then you can actually make a difference when you speak. And these are the tricks altogether. So breath, let go. Let go of all those tensions inside your head and your body. And the voice, just, shake it off and let it go as well, and play and relax. Like, you can produce so many sounds. It's really delightful. And the articulation, show courage and also true emotion when you speak. So if you use that, your voice is transforming into something else. And a warm, loving smile for me is like a big smile to the world. So use your voices as an instrument for peace and freedom. Mahatma Gandhi also had a conclusion to his story. He said, well, if you listen to people who love each other and who care for each other, they speak softly and they speak low. And sometimes they don't speak at all.